Hello, YouTube. This is Trucker Nene, nickname that was given to me in trucking school. Coming to you. My first video is just to talk about my last 8-week experience and just some sort of tips that may be helpful to you. So I'm with Prime. I went through the orientation. I flew out October 15th, started orientation on the 16th. And if you're watching this video, you probably are well informed about the process with Prime. So I won't go through it, but you go to the classes, you get your CDL permit, then you do the PSD phase, you get your CDL license, then you leave out for TNT. So that's where I'm at, is in TNT. So I'm with a lease operator on his truck. I've moved into his living quarters, and I'm the first female that he's trained. So he's trained many men, but I'm the first female. And I am doing this video from home. So December 18th, I was able to come home for a holiday break, and he is on his way to his family home for holiday break, and then we'll meet back up on January 3rd. But being away from home for 2 months, a couple things I experienced. I felt like I walked out of the life I knew into a life that I had no idea anything about. As much as I watched videos, read, listened to people, you don't know until you're actually in it and doing it. So preparation is good, but it's still not going to prepare you for what you're going to go through. And I'll touch more on that. Secondly, you really have to prepare your family. Let them know that the amount of contact that you're going to have with them. Let them know about the hours of contact. You shouldn't be on your phone when you're driving and training. Simple. So I'm not. I call them while I'm in the sleeper berth, which gives me, typically 10 hours a day. Or I'll call them while I'm, getting a shower at the truck stop, or, just done fueling and going in to get my receipt. It's those small bits of time that I use to make contact with family. So they have to be prepared. Otherwise, it can be like a shock to them as well. Because this is a change for you and for them. So just try to prepare them. Another experience that I had is that as much as you are healthy going into it, as much as you plan to be healthy, it's true. The truck stops will suck you in. And by that, I mean, we shower at the truck stops. You fuel at the truck stops. I just have to learn to go directly to the restroom, directly to the showers, and stay out of the frickin' aisles, because if you can tell, my skin is horrible right now. I've been eating too much sugar, too much carbs, not enough healthy food. We don't get to the grocery store, and by grocery store, I mean like Walmart, right? Because truckers don't have the ability to just go to the mall when they want, or go to Whole Foods or Trader Joe's, or whatever your grocery spot of choice is. I mean, if you think about the Trader Joe's parking lot and getting a car in there, can you imagine getting a truck, or just the without the trailer, just the bobtail into this? It just doesn't happen. So Walmart seems to be the choice for truckers to get groceries, because it's convenient. They allow for trucks to park, and so I've only been to a Walmart a couple times, got some fresh fruit, some veggies. My trainer has allowed me to use part of his fridge, which is great. But all too often, I find myself grabbing crackers or chips or candy. And the other thing is, I've got to, I feel like I'm eating 24 hours a day, right? So, let me switch. I feel like I'm eating 24 hours a day because one day I may drive the night shift, right? So I'm eating on my shift. I'm awake. Then when I'm done with my shift, I go lay down and it's during the day, and I have a terrible habit of not being able to sleep for 8 hours during the day. As much as you draw the curtains and it's dark, there's just something about it to me. So I'll get up 2 hours after sleeping and I'll be hungry, thinking I'm hungry, probably just emotionally wanting to eat. So I'll grab like a banana and some oatmeal. Now, granted, I've been eating all night. I don't need this banana and oatmeal as much as it may appear to be healthy. I don't need it. I'll go back to bed and then I'll wake up around lunchtime and I'll eat again. Now, keep in mind, if I was working a normal daytime job and going to bed at night, if I woke up at night, I'm not coming out to have breakfast or lunch. I'm going back to bed. So these are some of the things that I know I've got to get under control, because I feel like I'm eating 24 hours a day. And I've got to decide, these are my off hours. I can't eat because I'm supposed to be sleeping. And these are the hours that I can eat. And because the job is, at least for the reefer position, is more sedentary, right? I can't speak to flatbedders because they're, when they're hauling, they're pretty active with loading and unloading and tarping and all that stuff. I don't know anything about it, but it's pretty sedentary, so I don't need as many calories as I was eating before when I was like active and walking a lot. So when I'm at home over holiday break, I'm going to figure this out, because going into the new year, when I go back on the truck January 3rd, I'm not doing this crap that I've been doing. I mean, I can see it like in my skin and I can feel it. Like I don't feel the best. So be prepared for that. The other thing that I would be prepared for is, as much as you hear about like your guarantee training pay, well, I don't know what you were making before you came out to trucking. And that's none of my business. But for me, training pay is great because I'm getting paid to train. So don't let this next phase or this next statement take away from that. It is not enough for me. Like, not enough at all. Like, I'm sitting in my condo, right? So I have a mortgage payment, I have association fees, I have insurance payments. I did reduce my cable, so I only have the cable that comes along with my association fee, which is already paid for. My heat comes out of my association fee, which is great. The one thing I did do, I acted like a snowbird, and I cut the circuit breakers off. Not cut them off, but I shut the circuit breakers off, with the exception of the fridge, when I left, because my heat is boiler heat, so it doesn't need to run on that. And my Excel electric bill went from around $85, $90 a month to about $10 a month. So this time when I leave, I don't need the fridge running. Like, I don't leave any food in it anyway, other than some like salad dressing, condiments, but that's all going to change again. So I think this time I might just shut my fridge off, and maybe my energy bill will be like $1 or $2. But it's been tough, right? So you are going to go through some cash. You're going to go through your savings. You're going to go whatever it is. because it is not, at least if you maintain a home back home, it's not enough to sustain you. It's just not. And I think I do pretty well at eating on the road and having a like a budget for what I spend. Um, be prepared for that. It's rough. Now, if you are unemployed and weren't making any money and sort of relying on the kindness of other people to, like couch surfing, staying at your parents, that sort of thing, then this money is going to be a welcome thing to you because you'll have some income and you won't have to, pay for your apartment back home or whatever it may be. But just keep that in mind, like that the the paid training is great, but it's not enough for me. It does not cover my bills at all. So be prepared for that. If you can pay for your bills in advance by a couple months, do that. So you don't have the stress of worrying about, how you're going to pay, when you're going to pay, and all of those things. So you just don't need that when you're in training. Would I give up my condo and, my residence, so to speak? No, 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 no. No, I need a place to come back to call my own. So this condo is mine. And this is home. Like this is, this is what I love to come home to. I got a balcony there. I'm not giving it up. So just be prepared. Just be prepared. The other thing that I would say is that they advise you, they meaning the schools advise you not to bring a lot of stuff. I brought a rolling duffel on wheels. I think it's like 26-inch or something like that. And then I had all these other like little bags, like track bags, just filled with paperwork from school. And I had a purse with just, my iPad. And I brought a bunch of that stuff home that I'm not going to bring back on the truck. But, when I left in October, they say pack, for 7 to 10 days at a time. You'll be able to do laundry, that sort of thing. And we've done laundry. I've never run out of socks or panties. I never ran out of clothes. So, thank you. But I also came at a time where, it was 85 degrees in Missouri one day. And then I'd be in another location and it was 40 degrees. And I got sick because of the change in temperatures and environments and all that sort of thing. But I had to go out and buy clothes because I was freezing everywhere I went. So I went and bought thermals. And I went and bought, big fur hats. And because I'm telling you, when you're out there fueling, and it's 30 degrees and you just came from California where maybe it was 60, that wind and temperature runs straight through you. It's horrible. So think about the time of year that you're coming out, and just because it's winter and you're coming from Minnesota doesn't mean you should have all like winter stuff, right? You are going to get runs to Florida, to California, those sorts of things. And you got to be prepared to have just a t-shirt. So, I know in the North we dress in layers. Keep that in mind because you are going to dress in layers. I mean, there's times where I have 4 or 5 layers on in the truck because I'm so cold and I'm still warming up from the last stop. It is what it is. But all in all, I am loving it. I'm learning a ton. It's not just about driving. There's so much more involved in truck driving than just driving. And I'm so brand new. Like I think they consider you brand new for your first 2 years. I have no problem with being called new. I'll never stop learning. So 5 years from now, if I'm still in it, I'll still be wanting to learn things and experience things. So You know, I don't have an ego that says, oh, in 10 years I'll be, you know, close to a veteran, or in 20 years I'll be a veteran, or I'm just not into those titles and that sort of thing. So I'll always be looking for ways to learn, to improve, to do better, to be better, all those things. I don't know why I just said all that, but I probably because I see a lot of posts about people that are new, and they're pretty derogatory, pretty negative about new people coming into the field. So that's your problem, not mine. Anyway, do your research, watch videos, ask your recruiters, talk to other drivers, and then just let your own mind and heart filter that information, right? Nobody can give you specific directions on how to do this part of your life, because they don't know where you're coming from. They don't know your experiences. They don't know you. So do yourself a favor and take all that information in and filter through it. That's my best advice to you. Is no trucker out here, whether it's been 30 years or 10 minutes, they can't tell you what to do because they don't know you. Only you know you. So, have an awesome day. Be safe out there. While you are considering truck driving school, remember, when you are in a four-wheeler, a car, you can be a pain in our ass. So, be mindful of how you're driving around other trucks, because one day you will be that truck driver experiencing the car. Yeah, it's a whole new experience. And trust me, I used to cheat on truckers all the time, meaning I would see that gap and I would be like, vroom, sneak into, into their gap. That gap is not for me. That gap is for them, which essentially is for me because I don't want to get hit. But yeah, I would chase that gap down like on getting off on exits. Oh, I was really good at it. I'm such a shithead. I should have thought about it. And following too closely to a truck, just as bad. Stop doing that. I'll talk about like what I think etiquette should be coming from a recent car driver into the trucking industry. Because we, car drivers, for the most part, can do a lot better. So, anyway, Merry Christmas to all, and I hope you have a great holiday with your family, friends, whomever it may be. If you're out on the road, I hope you have a great holiday. So be safe. Take care.